Hello everybody, it's Chris. I wanted to come to you and show you my favorite guitar. Some of you have seen this before. It's a 1983 Kramer Pacer Imperial. But I've never shared the story of how I got her. There she is. So I got a nice little story to go with it and everything, but I'll give you a really quick look. Some of you guys have seen this, and dolls have seen this guitar before. And if you've watched some of my music videos, you see me playing it a lot. So I started interested in guitars very young and started playing guitars. Started with a cheap toy basically, and trying to teach myself how to play through books. I had some questions and was not understanding how everything flows together. And teaching yourself turned out to be a little more difficult than I thought. I had gotten a drum set, and I bought some books on teaching yourself how to play drums, and I was getting that down really good. How to keep beats, how to hold the sticks, and I was reading sheet music, so getting it down pretty good. In school, they taught us how to play the recorder. It's like a flute, and they taught us the notes. So I already had that from 3rd grade. If you guys remember, we used to have music, any of the older people out there, we used to have music classes, and they actually taught you the notes and how to play instruments. You got to pick your instrument. I wanted to play the drums, but that was already taken by someone in the classroom. So anyways, I started pretty young learning how to play, and I got into then drums, and then classical guitar, and taking piano classes and classical guitar classes. Got myself a nylon string acoustic, and then from there I watched the band Kiss a lot, and I saw this guy Ace, their guitarist, had a Les Paul, and so he had just gotten a black Les Paul that he was playing a lot, and so that was my first electric guitar, was a Les Paul copy. It was black with cream bindings around it. Looked just like the one Ace was playing, and I just loved the heck out of it. And I started working at music studios, actually teaching music, teaching classes on guitar, teaching beginning piano, and I would sell the instruments and I would set them all up. In the late 70s, I started seeing Kramer, and they had some pretty cool looking guitars, but I was really looking for something a little different. In 81 and 82, they caught my eye by making Super Strats. A guitar like this, without the pick guard, without any bindings or anything around it. It's just smooth body. It just flows. It's just gorgeous. And so I started setting up guitars for people in the shops, and people that were buying these Floyd Roses would bring them into me, and I would show them, or I would set it up for them and get it all set. I could either have it where this plate is all the way against the body, you can't pull it back at all, you can only dive bomb it, and then when you let go of it, it always goes back in the tune and always goes over there. A lot of people, when they push, they take their right arm, and as you're playing, seem to rest some weight against this, and it constantly pulls on it, where I either don't touch it or I just lightly touch it, and I'm able to keep it floating. So this is these posts are set up a little higher, and this floats, so you can go down and dive bomb it, or you can flutter it by just tapping it and getting it to make a nice little sound, or you can bring it upward. And then every time you let go of it, it goes right back into pitch, right into back into tune. Other systems did not do that. I was looking at maybe getting, before I got this one, I was looking at getting an Ibanez Roadstar II. It had a Schaller tremolo, and I wasn't getting the best responses from people that have them. And playing those compared to the guitars that have the Floyd Rose, I really, really like this idea. So 81, 82, Kramer started changing these around to where they look like this, Super Strats. This is an 83, and they were putting the Floyd Rose on it. At that same time, they got a cease and desist order from Fender to stop using their proprietary headstock design. This headstock for 81 and 82 Kramer Pacers would come up here in a round part and then go over to the point here, and it looked exactly like a Fender Strat head. So this is 83. This is the year they took him, and this neck was made by ESP for Kramer. And then they would take all the parts, like these, all the hardware is all Schaller, and then the Floyd Rose is German made steel. And so they got all these parts from all across the world, put them all together in Neptune, New Jersey. This headstock used to be over here. They cut this. This is one of those ones where they actually cut the side of it to get this shape, the beak headstock. So this became Kramer's trademark look for a while. This was on their jackets and their letterheads and the guitar cases and all that kind of stuff and everything. What you'll see a lot of is, I'm going to turn you around so you can see this. Fake Kramers, when they put this, it's like a water decal, they'll set this down and there's a little line that goes all the way around it like a box, around the edges, around the lettering, and you could, when you get up close, you can see that. The original Kramers, you don't see that, like this, where it says Pacer Series patent pending. If someone did put a water decal on there, you'll see a little mark all the way around it. Let me see if I can get it in the light. See? You don't see that here. So that's a dead giveaway that someone's trying to pass off a different guitar as a original Kramer. That, and there's a few other things I'll show you that are, you know, giveaways that it's original and real. Another one is this retainer bar bends the strings down to make sure they go straight right across this locking nut. And then when you lock these down and push these down, it doesn't change the pitch. If this bar is up too high, the string sits high, and then when you push this down, it bends it down and changes the pitch. Also, the way this sits on the shelf here, it's like 3/4 of the way on the shelf, and then there's a little bit that sticks over. You see right there. That's another giveaway that this is an original Kramer. The new ones, the new Pacers I have, this part, the neck goes all the way to the end of this R2 nut, and it then comes down. Actually, it's the R3 nut, sorry. This bar is round on the original Kramers. All the ones after that, it's flat on the top and flat on the bottom, and then just round on the sides. So if you see this round bar all the way across there, there's another giveaway that it's probably a original Kramer. All the hardware on it is from Schaller, made in West Germany. And then this retaining piece, it looks like this. It's flat, it's got the screw on there, and then there's springs inside here that holds your hardware on. This is also a giveaway that this is original, this style. The other styles, they have a screw right here that you screw down and it holds tension against these two on a little plate. So there's another one. The screws are in the back here, sandwiching that nut together, and that's the absolute best way to do it. It doesn't loosen, it doesn't move or anything. It just holds it all in there really tight and gorgeous. So there's a couple little giveaways. Of course, the original plate, everyone in the world knows my Kramer is C2041, made in the USA. The bodies were made by a company named Sport. This is the back plate for the springs, and then this is where the cavity is that holds the potentiometers. This body was made by Sport. It's solid maple. Sport is out of Connecticut, if I wasn't mistaken. They made duck decoys and gun stock, or the stock of a gun, the wood stocks and all that kind of stuff. They made really nice wood products, and so Kramer hired them to do the bodies. The necks were made by ESP, and then all the German hardware and Schaller electronics were all gathered together in Neptune, New Jersey, and then all of this was installed there. The guitars were painted there and then shipped out across the world. So as I get back to my story, my dad happened to be working for a company and traveling back and forth to Atlantic City, New Jersey. And when he would come back home, I would, in small talk, ask him how New Jersey is, this and that. And, that company that makes those Kramer guitars I really like and I want to get, they happen to be in New Jersey. But they're in Neptune, New Jersey. I wonder how far Neptune, New Jersey is from Atlantic City. Just little hints, this and that, just to be silly. And my dad and mom decided to actually get me this guitar. So what does my dad do? He goes to the factory in Neptune, New Jersey from Atlantic City, shows up there, and, of course they're like, how may we help you, sir? He goes, oh, I'm thinking about getting a guitar. And so they're like, sure, how many would you like to order? Where are they going to go? This kind of stuff. And he said, no, I just want to get one guitar for my son. He saw a candy blue Pacer Imperial, and he wanted to get that, so we're going to get it for him. And the guy goes, oh, well, we don't sell guitars directly to the public. We sell them to music stores. And then music stores, would sell them to you. So the guy helps my dad out by getting out the phone book and calling around. And the closest music store to the Kramer factory happened to have this guitar. So the guy writes down the directions for my dad, how to get there. And he goes over there and finds this guy and picks him up for me. And it's just been my number one guitar since then. The Les Paul kind of got set off to the side because this one can do so much more with this Floyd Rose. Stays in tune all the time. Other things that you can see that that it's original is the two screws here give it away. Sometimes it'll just be one screw in the center, and you can tell that those pickups have been changed out or whatever. Another small indication that it's all original. It's got the two screws right here, and that these pole pieces start to develop some rust on them, so you have to clean those off every once in a while, get the rust off of them, just for looks. The other things that give it away as an original Floyd Rose, the main thing is these posts are flathead screwdriver, and they change those to hexagons later on. The fine tuners are brass. You can see where the acid oils from my finger has slowly wore away the paint on those guys, and I've just left it that way because I just think it's super cool. Also, when you look at the bar itself, there's a little nylon ring at the bottom there. There we go. That's a giveaway. That's an original bar, and it's got two flat areas, one here and one here, that you can put a wrench on this side and then a wrench on the other side when you take that cover off, and you could lock it down and then pull the bar off. Today's ones, they just unscrew and you can pull it off, so that's another indication that this is an original and how it was set. Got a mini toggle. That's the bridge pickup, and if you go over here, that's the neck, and then dead center is both of them. So most of the time it's just the bridge pickup. You got a main volume for both of them. This is the tone knob for the neck pickup, and then over here is the bridge pickup tone knob. all original hardware, like I show you right here. A little strap holder is really wide. And it works great compared to a lot of the other ones that are a little smaller design. But those work great there. The body is just amazing. No pick guard, super strat, double humbucker. I was thinking about getting a Beretta, and I decided to get this one just to make it a little more versatile. And I ended up just using the bridge pickup most of the time. So this one doesn't get much use. It's got a beautiful arm cut right there, so your arm rests really nice against the body, and this belly, tummy tuck, belly cut right here is just gorgeous. It goes all the way up to this fine little point here on this horn. It just works out great. So my dad comes home and brings this to me. I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. I never thought I'd get one of these Kramers, and I did. He ended up getting it for me. So between the hardware, the sticker, or the not sticker, for it not being a sticker, the hardware, the way it sits, and all this shows you what's what, how it works. So yeah, it was all put together in Neptune, New Jersey. They were painted there and assembled there. So that's where they get the Made in America Kramer. And body was made by Sports out of Connecticut. The neck is by ESP, and it was all put together and installed there in Neptune, New Jersey. So I got a guitar closest to the factory that you possibly get. Now, I worked at a music store. My dad could have ordered it, and we could have had it delivered right to our music store, you know, our local music stores that I worked at. But he wanted to surprise me and just decided to go right to the factory and talk to the guys there, see what he could do about getting the guitar I wanted. You can see in the neck, it's had some wear over the years, but it's just fantastic. She stays in tune. She's a joy to play. The neck feels so comfortable and the body's so comfortable. It's just my favorite guitar. It's always been my favorite guitar. I've gotten another Pacer Classic that is designed right after this, or to look like this. And they're made by Gibson now. So Kramer sold to Gibson, and Gibson sat on the company for a while, and then saw how popular people are wanting the Kramers again, and so they started making them again. They started making them just like the other ones, the old ones, like this. This is a maple body. The new one is mahogany body, so this one's much heavier. If you don't mind the extra weight, then, you know, it won't bother your shoulder or whatever. Yeah, that's really cool. Otherwise, you might want to get one of the newer ones that are made out of mahogany, and you can tell it's much lighter on your body. But my favorite wood is maple, so maple guitars are just my thing. They just look so beautiful. If we look at the neck, you can see the grains, the swirls. It's just gorgeous. And then they put like a amber clear over it. That cool. Looks like almost like alien writing, the way it meshes together right up there. Yeah, so that's my story. I thought it was really cool. I mean, my father and mother go out of their way to surprise me and do stuff like this. This makes me feel so special. And this one is definitely special. It's been with me every day since. I play it all the time. You've probably seen it in my videos, or if you want to see it, you can check out my videos. I use this guitar a lot. And yeah, I think I kind of went over everything for you guys. That's how I got it. And there's a few little details on how you can tell the fake ones from the real ones, and some of the appointments there on it. So again, I appreciate you guys watching my videos, hanging out with me for a few, getting some information about it, and a great little story on how this became my guitar, how I got it. Oh, I also wanted to show you one of the other cool things are in the, I still got the hang tags. This was, with the price, was hanging off the neck here, and it's got all the information, warranty, registration, and what to do, customer warranty stuff, Kramer care, all that. So yeah, keep that with it. I'm kind of a guitar collector, if you guys haven't noticed, and so I keep all kinds of stuff that goes with it. Like if anything would have ever gone wrong with this guitar, I needed to take it off and everything, I would have kept the original parts in case I ever wanted to put them back in or whatever. But that's the thing about this, nothing's ever gone wrong or not worked on it, not worked the way I wanted it to, or it was advertised as, or anything. The only thing that I ever did is I smacked it real hard into my bass player, into his guitar, and it snapped the tuner right here. So I couldn't tune for the longest time the E string. I just had to do it with the fine tuner until it was threaded all the way out. And then the only one I could find at the time at the music store that we had was this one. The only difference is the angle goes over to the 90 compared to going off to an angle here, and it's round instead of this shape. And so I stuck this on here and figured I'll change it out at some point and put the find one of the originals from that look like this, same company, just Schaller. It's just a little different design, sits up a little different as far as the height of the post, but functionality is exactly the same. So I figured I'd get that changed out at one point. I got a little scratch right there into the paint, and then again I slammed into my bass player and got a chip right here. That's the biggest one. Clear's gone, the blue's gone, it's down to the silver paint that's underneath it there that gives it all this sparkle. And I figure it just adds character, so I'm not going to worry about changing that out, or fixing that, or changing out the one tuner that's not original. Everything else is original, works exactly how it should. When I started setting up guitars and playing with these Floyd Roses, I really fell in love with them. I was going to get a different guitar or another Les Paul at that point, and after setting these up and playing with them, and the way you can dive bomb on them and they always go back into tune. You can pull back on them and let go, and it always comes back and goes right into tune. Just was amazing. And then, of course, Eddie Van Halen started playing guitars with Floyd Rose equipped and playing Kramer's, and so Kramer's started flying off the shelves. We couldn't keep these in the music stores. They would sell right away, and it ended up in just about a year, 84 to 85, Kramer was outselling Gibson and Fender combined. It just exploded, especially after Eddie started using these guitars, the Berettas and the Pacers. So yeah, I got a cool little story to go along with my guitar, how I got it, and then I got to show you guys some of the details on it today. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, I want to thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me. Take care, everybody.